Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and grab your stamp set and your punch because it's time to put together August Stamp Club cards, or I should say projects. So again, we're using the Sweet Strawberry and the Builder Punch. Okay, let's look at our packet. I got too much stuff on my desk, it's all hanging. There we go. And let's see what's in our packets. So we have the little grass for our basket. We'll set that aside for later. And then you have, of course, the third card or project this month is what I sent to you already done. Looks like that. We have all these papers here, and we're going to make the card first. Now you have an old olive strip and a granny apple green. The granny apple green's a little bit brighter. We want to set that aside for the basket or the second project. So we're going to set that aside. And this large piece of Poppy Parade, we're going to set that aside for the basket as well. So these three in your kit, and really yours look a little different. I've done some pre-punching before. You'll have two of these for your strawberries. You'll have one of these which is way longer for your flowers, and you'll have one of these which is way longer for your leaves. But like I said, I've done a little bit of prep work, so you don't have to watch me make a bunch of stuff, but you'll need those. And then in this little kit here, we're going to just take everything out, and you'll see when I show you what I have already punched. Okay, so on the top here, we have the yellow scalloped and the white circle. Those are for the second project. We'll set those aside. Hang on to the little bling, put them where they don't get lost. We'll need that for the card that we're doing now. You have a little tag like this. This is for the second project. We're going to set that aside. And then there's 4 pieces of basic white in this kit. The largest one, 3 or 4 are exactly the same size. I guess there's 5, beg your pardon, there's 5. The larger one, we're going to set that aside. That goes with the basket too. So these are all the pieces you need for the card. And as you can see, like I told you, I already punched out, I stamped them in black, but I'm going to stamp a couple with you. Oh, here's one more thing we need to set aside. There's a little piece of, or a little blue gem in there. We're going to use that for the basket too. We need to set that aside. Okay. Let's just start by stamping first and all the pieces we have to stamp. We'll start with the strawberries, and this is how I suggest that you do it. Now, for the card, if you have the pocket for the gift card, let me show you that. So if you want your card, it's a tower card, and if you want the pocket here for the gift card, then you only need 3 strawberries. Now, if you don't do the pocket for the gift card, then you will need to do a page like this. This would take the place of this page. Now let me show you too while I got this handy. This is what not to do. This one goes the wrong way. I put the card together wrong, so I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. Excuse me. But if you don't want a pocket, this is what I did with this page here. I'm going to show you how to do the pocket though. Okay, so on again we go. We need 3 strawberries. I gave you tons of paper just in case. My suggestion how to punch the strawberries or stamp and punch them, because we know that the punch has the other pieces and sometimes waste paper. I would stamp 1 on this side and then 1 on this side. So it looks like that. And then take the punch here and punch this one out. And punch this one out just because. So you're going to be able to get a lot of strawberries just in case you don't want that pocket on your paper. And then I would take my stamp and start again. And then I would punch it as close as I can to this here, this little flower punch where it's punched here, and then punch another one close to this leaf. Now I'm going to punch way too many this time. And then punch those out. And this way, see how it covers up what you've already punched, but yet it saves paper in the long run. So that's just when you use the strawberry punch and you're going to punch it out that way, that's my suggestion. Okay, so we have a bunch of those now. And then when it's time to stamp your leaf, we're going to stamp that outline leaf in the green. Where did my green go? Here it is. I suggest you take and put the stem part at the top like this. And I'm going to just stamp a couple of them here. So if you stamp them like that, and then you feed them into your punch, feed them into your punch. Let me stick my head in the camera real quick and try to get them lined up. There we go. You can just punch it and then feed it. And it's a lot easier to punch them that way. You saw how I just fed it into the punch like that, right? Okay, so then when it comes time to do the flowers, you have that little strip of yellow. Now, like I said, yours is a lot longer, but I've already punched some of mine out. You're gonna take the little outline of the flower again in black, and I'm gonna just make sure that one of his petals is down, like toward the bottom here. And the flower is so little, it really doesn't matter much. It's very user-friendly with the punch. Because then you would just take your punch and you would feed the flower in this way. Does that make sense? And then so you just go in again and do the next one, and you would just go until you have enough flowers. So let's see if I have enough of them now, because like I said, I have a whole lot of them. Throw my scraps out of the way. No, I'm not gonna cover that. We're gonna do some more stamping. But then, so I have all these little pieces that I have punched out. I'm gonna go ahead and take 3 of my strawberries, and with just a little bit of liquid glue, in fact, I'm gonna get my silicone mat. Nope, I'm not. I'd like to put that on the silicone mat. Oh, here it is. Phew, okay. And a little bit of glue right here. I'm gonna set him aside. 2, 3. I think I only need 3 strawberries and 6 flowers. There's my strawberries. And then while I'm at it, I'm gonna set my little strawberries like this. 3, 4, 5, whoops, he stuck to my thumb. 5, 6, and I'm gonna use my take a pick tool here and that little bling, and this will help me not lose my bling. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bling on my flowers. Now, if you have to use your tape runner on your flowers, you might wait, because it's easier to put tape on the back of your flowers when they're flat rather than when they have bling on them. But I'm going to use glue dots or dimensionals, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to go ahead and put my bling onto my little flowers now, just so I don't lose it. Okay. So now we have all of our little pieces and parts there. Let's bring in those 4 white pieces. And I'm going to bring in 1 black. Okay, so for one of my white pieces, this is going to be my pocket. I'm going to just go ahead and take my tape and tape that plain white piece to the center of this black. Like that, there. Then this piece that looks like this, the other designer series paper are in strips like this, or in a big square, well, almost square like this, but I'm going to take this one. This is our pocket, and I'm going to use, let me get a little piece of my silicone mat here. Ha ha ha. Okay, and put this on my silicone mat, because our sticky strip, or our tear and tape is a better word for it, and I don't think I'm happy, I gotta move it this way for some reason, is too thick. So I'm gonna lay it half off and just put a little strip down like that, and then tear it, and then take that backing off, right, like that. And then I'm going to even use my silicone mat, and I'm going to just fold it over. So now there's no sticky on the front, and yet I use that tear and tape. I really just folded it in half. So I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Now I know that you can find tear and tape thinner other places. So if you have thinner tear and tape, that's great. But if you have Stampin' Up's tear and tape, you need to have a thin strip, and that way your gift card fits in there. So again, like I said, I hung it off the side onto my silicone mat. I'm going to try to get that backing off. There we go. And I'm going to use my silicone mat again to fold that in half. So now, my flower, it's only stuck to that one more side, and then we're all good. And I'm going to just do it on the 3 sides. The one that's cut at a slant, I'm not going to put the tear and tape on. That's going to be the top of the pocket where you insert your card. So there we go. Make sure that's on there. Get rid of that release paper. And last time, come on, release paper. There we go. And then I'm going to tear that or fold that in half again. So now I have 3 sides of it all sticky. And here, so you know the designer series paper goes side to side of the black, not the white. So it's going to fit here perfect at the bottom. And it's going to go all the way from side to side, if I can get it on there. Like, there we go, like that. And then my little pocket, which I should flip this open so you can see what we're doing. This is the one we're making, right? So now my pocket is just right, and my gift card will slide in there, no problems. Okay? All right, now let's stamp these other 3. I'll show you my sample so we know where we're starting. This is gonna be the front. The first thing I wanna stamp on there, and let me get a piece of paper for underneath, because we're going to stamp off a little bit. Or I'm going to stamp these little flowers and leaves at the top here. And I'm not going to be particular as to how I stamp them. I'm just going to cover this half of the top. And then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to stamp this half of the top. Something like that, so that it has leaves like that. And then, look, I have a smudge. So sorry, you're going to have to watch me stamp it again. I apologize, but I cannot have that smudge on my card. Let me quickly keep my dirty fingers off my clean white paper and try it again. Okay, there we go. Then here at the bottom, I'm going to just stamp that little hello there. And I think I want it toward the center. I'm going to stamp them right there. Okay, let's go to the next one. We've already done our pocket. So the next one, we want to just stamp happy birthday up there toward the top. I'm going to practice once on my paper. Yep, looks pretty good. Thank goodness, because look, I almost stamped it upside down. I'm going to just stamp him right there. Let that ink sink into the paper, hold it down for me. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, just holding it firm. There we go. And then this one, I'm going to take and stamp just the leaf. And now I'm going to make it so there's just a leaf and one little flower. This is where you would write your sentiment or your greeting or your congratulations or your happy birthday wishes, whatever you would want to write on there. And like I said, I'm going to try to make it so I only have 1 leaf and 1 flower on there. Let that ink sink in. I'm not pressing, I'm just holding it firm. I don't want to squish the stamp. There we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so, oh, and then last thing, in your kit, you have this little circle and this little circle, that layer, but we need to stamp just for you on that little circle. Okay, so now we've done all of our stamping. I'm going to set that aside. Now let's make the pinwheel together. Okay, so bringing in, let me kind of clean up a little bit here. Bringing in this piece of designer series paper here. This is 4.5 by 4 1/4. Now, other demonstrators had said, you know, they did it 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, just not to confuse. But since I already put all those score lines on there, and that might not make any sense, but it does to me. Sorry, I went off. Let's just fold on those score lines. because really the 4 1/4 leaves you a little tiny lip to put your adhesive on to make the tower, and I wanted a little bit longer, and that's why I went with the 4 1/2, because this is a 1/2 inch now for you to put your glue on, and then it's 4 inches tall. So we're going to go ahead making sure that the black is on the inside, because when you look at your card, you want to have it matching the inside of your tower. So inside like this, we're going to put some adhesive on here and then put this and then just make it into a little cube. Okay. Now I've watched a bunch of pinwheel tower card videos, I guess you'd call them, and there's lots of different ways to do it, but I think having your designer series paper as the tower with the cardstock around it makes your card more, it folds easier, it's a lighter weight, it's just the way to go. So this is how I decide to show you. So now you saw how I put that tape on there and made it into this little tower. Now I'm going to make sure that when I fold it on all 4 sides that it works. If it doesn't, you just use your bone folder to make those folds work like that. I hope that made sense. Okay, so now let's bring in those 4 pieces of black. One of them already has our pocket and the 3 others. Now you have to pay attention here for just a second with me. So you have 4 sides of your, I keep calling it a cube, I don't know if it's a cube, but the tower part, right? I'm only going to put adhesive on one side. So between the score lines, I'm putting the adhesive here, and then I'm going to open it. So now the adhesive is on this side. I think it's easier to apply the adhesive when it's on this side, maybe just for me, but it's easier to put your card together when the adhesive is on now this side. And now I'm going to line up with one of those black pockets, the very side of the cardstock with the very side of the tower. I don't want to see any of the tower at all, but I don't want my cardstock to hang off, so I want them to be even right here. Hope that made sense. And I also want to make sure that my tower does not show here or down here. Okay, so now it looks like this. You have one side of cardstock onto one side of your tower. Then we're going to lay it, so now you see your cardstock here and you have your tower here, and let's go ahead and cover that with adhesive. And I'm going to do the same thing now. I'm going to take my black piece of cardstock, I'm going to line it up with this part, this fold here of the tower, making sure that when I put it onto here, it lines up perfect here, but also is straight with this piece here. So this is straight down here, and this is straight down here, and it looks like that. So when you open it, you have those two, and you don't see a seam here. Or if you do, like mine, it's very, very small and won't cause you won't pay attention to it there. Okay, so let's keep going, and we're gonna do all of them, including that pocket one. And it doesn't matter where your pocket is right now. It's a matter of beginning to end. It's like a never-ending card. For those of you that like the never-ending card, it's just gonna keep going. So I'm gonna make sure it lines up, like I said, perfect here, perfect top to bottom here. And now I have that one, and then we have one more right here to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my pocket on that one. Whoop, almost went off the table. Okay, and line this one up, making sure you don't see that designer series paper here. It's straight here again, and now we have our tower card. Looks like that. All right, it might still look confusing, but trust me, I think it's going to get better. So let's start with the front of the card. I would consider the hello there the front of the card. It looks like this, right? This is what we want it to look like. So I'm going, well, no, this is the pocket. We just want to go back one. So you can see the pocket here, but we're going to put the hello there that we stamped. What did I do? Oh, I don't like that one, right? That was the one I messed up. I'm like, why are there leaves on the back of my paper? But we're going to cover up, this is the one with my smudge. We're going to cover that up, put that down right here in the center. And then while we're here, we're going to take one of those strips of the designer series paper, and I'm going to put that right here. On that strip, and now it looks like that. We need to put some strawberries on there, so let me grab, now this is, I'll show you some samples. On this one, I put these strawberries flat and the flowers flat. They don't have any dimension on them whatsoever. This one, I put the dimensionals under the strawberries. Can you see that? So you have to decide, do you want your flowers or your strawberries flat, or do you want them popped up? Here's another one that I've done with the flowers and the strawberries popped up. I think on the front, I'm going to consider this the front of my card, I'm going to go ahead and pop up my strawberries and flowers on dimensionals. So I'm going to just take my strawberry like this, and I want to kind of angle them like someone just threw them onto the card, not in any kind of law and order, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. I'm going to be careful that I don't put the dimensionals where the strawberry is going to touch the other strawberry, so I'm going to put them on this side. If you wanted to, you could add a glue dot here, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm going to just throw it just like that. And then I think I'm going to put some of my strawberries on dimensionals, and the other ones I'm going to just, or I mean the flowers, so I'm going to use, let me start over. My strawberries are on dimensionals. Some of my flowers will be on dimensionals, but others will be flat, because I think I want this one down here flat. And then I want another one on a dimensional, because he's going to go up here between or next to my strawberries. And then let's see where I want the third one. We have to decide. Nope, I think I want him flat with a glue dot right here. But you can see there's tons of different ways you could arrange your little flowers and strawberries onto your card. Okay, let's go to the next one. We have it here. So we need to adhere this little circle, the white circle, onto the Poppy Parade circle. There we go. I'm going to just put it flat. I don't want too much dimension on all the pages because it's going to make our card really thick. There's so many. Why is my tape not cooperating? There we go. There's so many layers, we don't want to go overboard. And then another little flower here I'm going to put on with a glue dot. Right here, right beside my Just For You. There we go. And then on this one, let's move along. Oop, that was the pocket. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Well, I forgot to do. We got to put our strip of designer series paper right here on the side. Okay, now we go on to the next one. Now right here, this is where we're going to put the happy birthday. A little bit of, there, I'm going to get my other tape. It has a little bit more in there. My other one's almost out. I think that's what I say on every video. I'm almost out of tape, but it's true. I'm always almost out. Okay, like that. And then we're going to put that strip of designer series paper right here on the side. And now I taped my table. Okay, let's try that again. Put this one right here. There we go. Then we need a strawberry, and I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the back of him. Set him there. And a glue dot, for some reason, I think is easier on that little flower. Just right next to it right there. Look how cute this is. I think this is the cutest card ever. And then the last one we have, this is where you'll write your greeting. I'm going to just put that white piece that only has the leaf and the flower right here. Get my strip of designer series paper. And put that right here. And then that last little flower we have with another glue dot, I'm going to just put it right here on top of that flower that we stamped. Whoops, and I forgot to turn this one so you could see. But there, and they're almost out of the camera, there's our tower card all finished. So let's check it out and see how we did. So we have the front. This would be the front. I would consider this the front. So you say hello there, and then you give them the gift card, and then you tell them happy birthday, you sweet thing, and that's where you write your sentiment. Is that not adorable? The other thing is it can sit up on a desk. It's a really cute card, and I think that's the best way to put it together. Now, if you want to make more of these, you can find the dimensions on my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. I'll put all the measurements on there, so if you want to make more, you can cut your own paper and make some more of those. So let's go on to our second project. We have all these pieces over here that I stashed away. I'm going to first of all put my little bling up here where I can find it later. Let's start with this piece here. Oh wait, I forgot one more piece. We need this right here. I've scored it for you. It's 6 inches. I've scored it all the way around at 2 inches. We're going to just fold on those score lines. I guess I should show you what this is, right? This is a little basket. It looks like this. It's very cute and simple. And then if you take these little strawberry candies and put them inside, it makes a cute little flavor. You could do this with tons of items. Here I have one that I've done with the new craft paper and did a little leaf on there. And it's the banner stamp set, I think, year of a banner, I don't know, anyway. But there you go. You can make all kinds of different ideas with this little basket. But we're going to take our paper snips, and I'm going to cut from the side up to that score line, just like this. Just straight up that score line right here to this score line. I'm going to do the same thing right here. And then I'm going to turn it all the way around. So this is this side. I'm going to do it exactly on the opposite side, the same thing. Like that. So now our basket looks like this. Okay, so now I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can attach the handle. So you can use, let me get mine out. I'm going to do mine without the stapler, but I'm going to show you how you can do it. If you want a quick, easy basket that has the little staple as a handle right here, all you have to do is you take these 2 corners, you flip this part down, these 2 corners right here, bring them together, bring this inside up, you put your piece here like this. Can you see what I've done? I've taken my 2 corners together here, the inside I have laid, let me see if I can get this open there, that's better, there we go. And then I would just set my handle in there, I would take my stapler, and I would just go boom, and you have a stapler. And then it looks like that on the inside. But let me show you another way to make the inside nice and smooth. So we have our basket open. On this one here, I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape, and I'm going to lay it right here at the top. And then I'm going to take this middle piece and bring it in, and I'm going to put a piece of sticky strip right here on that middle piece. So now, do you see where my sticky strip is? It's on the outside, right, of the middle piece, and it's on the inside of the side. Let's do it one more time over here. So over here, I'm going to put a piece of sticky strip along the top here, and then I'm going to flip this inside one, maybe I am, inside, and then put my sticky strip right up here, like that. Okay, then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this center piece of sticky strip here. And I'm going to take my handle. Now this is the 1-inch piece of Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to lay it right here, centered, side to side, over that sticky strip. I hope you can, or tear and tape. Hope you can see what I've done there. Okay, press that down, make sure it's good. And then I'm going to take the tape off of, or covering off of this side. I'm going to bring those 2 points together, these two out here. I'm going to bring those 2 points together and lay those on top of one another. And then this one still has the sticky strip here and here, so when I pull it up, it's going to hold that side together. And look how inside of your box looks really nice. The handle won't get stuck on your candy and stuff, and yet it's really firm. It won't let go. So let's do the same thing to the other side, but first we want to give this a little bit of a curl. So between my thumb and my index finger, I'm going to just pull that paper a little bit and break those fibers to get it to where it starts to curl. We're going to take the tear and tape off of that centerpiece, like this. Lay our handle right there over it again, and here's where you can see how long your handle is. It not long enough, then you can pop this off and make it a little bit longer. You could make it shorter depending on how long you want your handle. Let's make sure that's good and stuck down. Okay, and then now we're going to take this piece of tear and tape off here, and we're going to bring, of course, again, these 2 corners right here up together. Lay those pieces down, and then lay that right on top of that centerpiece. I hope that all makes sense. And now look how nice you have a little sturdy box. The handle's not going to fall off. It's curved nicely and looks like that. There we go. Okay, let's set that aside, do some stamping, and finish up our box. So now I'm going to bring in some Balmy Blue, some Poppy Parade, and some Old Olive ink, and that piece of paper right here. This was the white piece that was a little bit bigger than the others that we saved for this project. And we're going to stamp, whoops, on this tag right here with some Memento Black. So make sure you have that one too. We're going to start with the Old Olive. I'm going to bring back in that piece of scratch paper so I can stamp off a time. The outline, which has black on it. Let me clean that real quick. A little bit of chamois work here. And while I'm at it, I'm going to clean my flower. And that's all. I think that's all we need to, oh, no, and my strawberry. Here's my strawberry. Let's clean him too. Almost forgot about him. Get that black ink off, and let's start using some Poppy Parade. Okay, but like I said, I'm going to stamp with the green first, and I'm going to have my stem. This is the outline. I'm going to do it full strength right here toward the bottom, and I'm going to just stamp my stem exactly like that, so the stem is facing that way, and then bring in that solid image, stamp it off one time, and then stamp that right on top where it's lined up, hopefully. Looks like that. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with the strawberry. I'm going to use some Poppy Parade ink. I'm going to ink up that outline first, and toward the center here, toward the bottom, I'm going to stamp my outline. I hope I didn't get him too low, but I think he's going to be okay. Then with that solid image, and you can see poor thing is pink because I use him all the time in my Poppy Parade ink, and I'm going to stamp him off, and then right inside that outline, like that. And then last, for this part, I'm going to bring in that Balmy Blue. I'm going to stamp my little flower. Now I'm going to try to have one of my petals all the way to the right, and I'm going to stamp him all the way to the edge, kind of toward the bottom, like that. And he's full strength. And then with his little inside piece, I'm going to stamp it off, and then, oh, I'm not happy. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stamp him off. There we go. And then just fill in that flower there with that part. So now that we have it stamped this way, when we bring in our punch, we just put a little leaf in there first. Line him up really good in there and punch him out. And then next we're going to just slide it over and do our strawberry. And then last, we're gonna slide over that little flower and punch out the little flower. So now we have all 3 pieces that we need, if I can find them. There we go. And all of this is just trash. Now on this piece here, we're gonna stamp that just for you in some black ink. So ink came up good. And I wanna make sure that the tails of my banner are to the left. Unless you wanna do your basket the opposite way, then you do it toward the right. But I'm gonna do it this way, that just for you. Like so. I left room, a little bit of room here for my strawberry. Okay, let's set these. Oh, let's go ahead and put our strawberry together. I'm going to use my silicone mat again, just so I don't make a mess. There we go. And bring that little flower here and put the dimensional, or not the dimensional, the gem on my flower so I don't lose it again. Come on, little Jim, go in the center. There we go, thank you. Take that little leaf and put it now in that little glob of glue. Okay, now we have all of our little pieces. I'm gonna take this white circle and I'm going to just adhere it to the yellow circle, try to get it pretty straight and centered. So it looks like, nope. Try that again. Maybe it was straight. I should have just left it alone. I think that's good enough. Let's just go with that. I'm going to take my little banner piece here and my strawberry, and I'm going to lay them where I want. I kind of want my strawberry at a little bit of a tilt, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to hold them together with a dimensional. So now they've become one piece here. And then with a couple more dimensionals, I'm gonna just hold them together and there we go. And then I'm going to just set that in the center of my circle here, like that. A little glue dot on the back of my blue flower. And I'm gonna set that, I think, about right. Do I want it there? Do I want it down here? Nope, I think I like him right there. There we go. Okay, so then to adhere this to the basket, I'm gonna take a dimensional and I'm gonna put a dimensional right here in the center of my handle. And then on the back of my yellow, I'm going to put 2 dimensionals, making sure it's the bottom, right here. So when I add those to my basket, I'll only have dimensionals where the paper is, if that makes sense. I'll show you in just a second. I'm gonna just lay that right there. And now there's no dimensionals on the back where I don't want them. They're all tucked under the paper, like that. Look how cute that is. Okay, so then you have a little baggie here of shredded paper. We're gonna just take that and dump it into our basket. Thank you for being a part of Club. I hope that my instructions here on my video help you to put your packets together. We need to discuss what stamp set we're going to use for next month's club, so I'll probably be calling you or I'll send out an email, but I'll be talking to you real soon. So there you go. There's one project and there's the card. If you have any questions, be sure and give me a call and I'll help you out. Thanks again for being a part of Club. Bye-bye.